urgent need for us to get our act right, to have a clear idea. You see, there is nothing as worse as not having clarity. You can achieve projects by design, or you can continue the path we're going, whereby we achieve project by coincidence. That means we just, like we did before Faniamu era, we fumble our way through it and we get there. If you want, what is it you need in terms of your oil industry? Refineries to produce locally and then distribute and get everybody have the first. That's not a big deal. I've just told you that you already have 440,000 barrels per day, right? If you have another one coming on 650,000 barrels per day. Maybe there are others who are also doing it. The totality of that means that we'll be self-sufficient and would actually export out of this country and earn effects as well. That is not something that is going to happen in 20 years' time. It's going to happen in 2 years' time. By fourth quarter of 2015, we'll have it. What I believe the NNPC also should be doing is to get their own 440 actually going. They can do that, just put out a bid for everybody else who are interested. And that brings you foreign direct investment. Your foreign direct investment will come and say, look, the process through which we are going to put our money is transparent. And as such, we won't have problems again after going through it.
Is it that the political interest is so much higher than the economic interest?
I think we should not confuse incompetence, corruption motives with political influence. There are three separate things. Sometimes they all work together.
In this case now, what do we have?
Well, in this case, that's the whole idea of saying that, look, you just can't say, oh, you come and turn the place around and go.
You have to open it up.
Just send the bid out and let people come.
bid. Yeah.
That's just all there is. Okay. And look, the idea and the notion that there's some altruistic motive that you love the country, we all love the country. But the country must also,
I mean, love of country hardly features when you're talking about...
Let's talk about numbers.
Business,
Okay, what time frame is this ROM? All these things have to be open. Look, the key point is this. If you are dealing with a national asset, the process is not just so much of the investment side of it, it's also about confidence building. To know that the assets of the country is being judiciously... Look at what we did with Niger. What if we had just given it to Femi, Egbe, and yourself, and said we've allocated to the boys? We would be struggling today with our telecom sector. Well, we did that through proper bid.
Job for the boys.
And we did it very well, and it's working. And people can hold them accountable. You don't see people saying that, oh, these people got a wrong thing. You know, everybody saw the whole process. They bidded. Those who did not bid, I said, oh, we lost out. But that's what you do with your national assets. It is so imperative. It is a minimum requirement.
What is the position with Warri and Kaduna?
We haven't gotten there. We deal with the big tickets, and then we go there. But, you know, to be frank with you, let's put this in context. People are hurting. There are villages in Nigeria who don't have electricity. There are people who struggle with things like petroleum products. There are more cheaper and more alternative forms of electricity which are available, which we can also explore. The larger conversation we should be having is to have that grand plan, vision for the Nigerian energy sector that will comprise gas, oil, alternative forms of renewable and sustainable energy. And once we have that clarity, you can attract investment because you already have the market base here. In the situation where we have start, stop, the real change that needs to happen is that we have learned from all this thing. It is not sustainable. Then now the Senate will go around trying to do some investigation. It will take another 3-4 days. Different interests will come in. That need not happen. The ministry has the right, like I said, under the Infrastructure Concession Establishment Act, to actually issue concessions on any of these, whatever. All it needs to do is to publish in 3 widely read newspapers the bid. And so nobody will say, in fact, you might even go on for that and also make it available on his website so that international people can also come in. They can also do something. They can actively issue out their criteria of what they want, set out their goals. We want you to build and even expand within so much time. And then those things are clear. And then if they do the bid and they say this person wins, nobody should come forward and say, no, I wasn't given a fair shot at investing. Now, does it mean that these gentlemen are incompetent or not? No, that's not the question. The question is, if the process through which you emerge is not credible, we can't hold you accountable tomorrow.
And if through it all we now find out that you are incompetent to boot.
I mean,
you got it through the back door. That's not bad enough.
They have the experience. They've been in the industry for so long. They've played a very key role in defining certain aspects of the downstream sector. I mean, you must give it to them. My concern is about the accountability factor. Don't forget, this is a public national asset. If you give them the job, and if something happens, a force majeure or something, we can hold them responsible. The whole idea of accountability and process and transparency are not mutually exclusive. They work together. And let's look at the bright side of it. We have an ERGP that talks about this is where Nigeria wants to be, right? That's the overarching plan. We would then have to know that there are certain critical elements in there, maybe 6 of them. Agriculture, for example, which is not our father's agriculture. We're talking about the agribusiness.
Mechanized.
Yeah, it's a huge one. Even within the agribusiness, you are talking about special areas of core competencies. In the Nigerian geographical space, there are areas that are better in one area or the other. So that plan is out there, and then you put it out for everybody. You're talking about energy. You're talking about roads, basically infrastructure. The infrastructural gap in Nigeria is so